Hello, I'm just your average Joe. Hello, this is your average Joe, and with bullying being such a huge problem in this country, I have decided to share my story and what effect it has had on me in my life and show that there is light at the end of the tunnel and that there is help. First off, to give some backstory to this, when I was about 9 or 10, I was diagnosed with hyperactivity disorder, which back in the 70s was what they called ADHD now. And for around a year, I went to see a psychologist and I was put on Ritalin at around 10. And once I graduated elementary school, I ended up going to special ed school. Actually, two of them. The first one was Glen Paul Center, which was right next door to Winship Junior High, which I attended the other half of the day. And then the second part of the year, we switched over to a place called Franklin Elementary School, which was a little bit across town. And it was the same people, same class, same students, same teachers. We just all switched. There were three of us in the class, three boys, me, Glenn, and John, and there were two teachers, a male and a female. Now, for a while, we all got along wonderfully. Me and John especially enjoyed listening to music on the radio, and our favorite song was "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road" by Sir Elton John. And like I said, during the day we got along fine, but in the mornings, especially after we switched over to Franklin Elementary School, in the mornings the teachers were very often late to class, and when they were late, Glenn and John would gang up on me and bully me, and would love to torment me. And then when the teachers showed up, they would stop and make like nothing had happened. And this went on for a long time. And then one day, when the teachers were late again, they did their usual ganging up on me, and then they got me caught behind a flip style chalkboard at the side of the room against the wall. Uh, for a flip style chalkboard, think Back to the Future Part 2 with Doc Brown doing his diagram, that type of chalkboard. Anyway, they got me trapped behind that. John got a hold of me. Glenn went outside to act as a lookout, and John proceeded to drag me over to the storage cabinets, and to this day I have no idea whether they were left unlocked, but they were. And so he opens up the cabinet, and the first thing he takes out is a ball peen hammer, one of these guys right here, if you can see it. I'm trying to get it to show up on the screen. Oh, that's the saw. Ball peen hammer, one of these guys, and then threatens to basically brain me with it. And then he puts the ball peen hammer back and then proceeds to pull out one of these hand saws. One of these hand saws, and then he takes me, he throws me on the ground, he straddles me, and he is trying to get the blade of that particular saw down to my throat. And I have no idea what his intentions were or how serious he was, but I do know that it was taking all my strength to keep him off of me. And we were like that for about 5 minutes. Felt like a lot more than that, obviously, but it was for about 5 minutes. Then the teachers showed up. The male teacher grabbed him off of me and threw him bodily into one of the doors of one of the two cubicles in the unit that were used for quiet study or one-on-one instruction, and literally read him the riot act. I mean, this teacher was mad. And then the female teacher was busy trying to comfort me, because by that time, once the danger was gone, I became hysterical. And after a while, our parents were called. Classes were canceled for that day. And a sign of the times being the 70s and not today, yes, if I remember correctly, the police were called and a report was taken. But beyond, and some discipline for the two happened. I can't remember what the discipline was. Things get a little fuzzy after the whole act was done, but I do remember that part of that day perfectly. As my good friend Larry Lawton, the YouTuber, would say, I will never forget that part of that day. But so the parents came and got us, and the teachers promised that after that they were never going to be late to class again, and they weren't. And the rest of the year went on normally with no problems. And I have no idea whatever happened to those two guys or the two teachers. As a Christian person, I have long since forgiven them, but like I said, I will never forget. And during junior high, it affected me to the point where I was so shy and so, I had retreated into my shell so far that I couldn't even talk to people in the face. I mean, bucking the stereotype, especially back then, the head cheerleader and her best friend, leader of the pep squad, became friends of mine. They would sit down on a bench next to me and talk to me, but I couldn't talk back to them, or at least I couldn't look at them in the face. I was that shy. And my behavior started going out of control. And back then, we had a vice principal named Mr. Kinzer, who eventually, because I got so out of control, took me for what was the type of punishment that he was known for inflicting, which was taking me out to the coach's office in the gymnasium, taking a wiffle ball bat, which is a regular baseball bat that's flattened into an oval shape. The barrel is flattened into an oval shape, and he would use that for paddling, and there was like 3 or 4 swats, as they were called. And obviously my parents had to be called first to okay it, and they did. Not surprising, knowing my parents. They're both gone now, but I don't hold it against them, because I definitely deserved it. And after that day, it started snapping me out of my behavioral problems. I went into high school, went into ROTC, and that helped with a lot of the discipline. But because I was so messed up at what had happened, when I got into my late teens, I actually did attempt to take my own life on multiple occasions. Obviously, I'm still here, so obviously I didn't succeed. Thank God, literally. Like I said, I'm a Christian person at this point in my life, and that was kind of the awakening point of me becoming a Christian, was asking for help. And for me, at least, it was God that answered. And so that's my bullying story. And I wanted to say, for all those of you out there who are being bullied, that please do not please do not think that suicide is your only option. It is not. Don't even put it on the table as an option. There is help. You can get help. You can find help. Just keep going to adults until you find someone who will listen to you. I know sometimes there are adults that won't listen, or don't care, especially in this day and age, but there are people out there who will listen. Do not stop until you find those people, and it can get better. It got better for me. Uh, it's like I can get in front of a group. I can sit in front of this camera and talk to you. I'm up in front of my church on Sundays, uh, reading scriptures from the Bible, and also doing the greeting, and things like that. And so, you know, you, I know bullying is hard. Obviously, I know very well what it can do to you, but there is help. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And for those of you who are bullying other people, think about this. How would you like it if somebody was doing what you're doing to another person, if someone was doing that to you? You wouldn't like that very much. Please do not bully other people. It is not worth it. It is not a cool thing to do. It is a cowardly thing to do, and you need to look inside yourself and find out why you feel the need to do this, because you don't bully people. It is not cool, and it is, like I said, it is such a cowardly thing to do. We have too much of it in this country, and it needs to stop. As someone who has been through some of probably the most severe bullying that someone can go through, to the point where I could have possibly lost my life. Like I said, I have no idea what his intentions were at the time, and I wasn't willing to find out. And I just wanted to share my story and let the people that are being bullied know that you don't have to think that suicide is going to be your way out, because you're going to hurt so many people, and it's not worth it. It is really not worth it. It's not. Please don't inflict pain on other people in an attempt to get rid of the pain on yourself. That is not the way to handle the situation. You can get help. It is available out there. Please seek the help. And to those that are bullying, please stop. As I said, it is not cool. It is cowardly, and you are a coward if you bully people. I realize that there are things in your past that may cause you to act like that, but please don't do that. You may end someone's life. You may cause someone to kill themselves, and you would have to live with that for the rest of your life. So don't do it. Bullying in this country has got to stop. Please think before you act. So now you've heard my story, and that is something I wanted to share and get it out there. And thank you for listening. I hope you have a very nice day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.